Mike, you have a great group of radio stations. They're all, I would suggest, probably fairly similarly sized markets, but do lots of different kinds of things. So you require and are looking for people in those mid-markets, primarily, I guess, in obviously Illinois and in Indiana, and working with a storied group of broadcasters. Where do you find the people?
We created a program 21 years ago where we host a summer camp for kids who are interested in the sports media. Sports media business is where it's began, and now it's expanded. But we have a group of high school and college students that spend a week with us. We program hands-on education for them, and then put them in the field during that camp week and actually do radio. We teach them how to ask questions. We teach them how to edit. We teach them how to do play-by-play. We teach them how to do public address. We introduce sales. We introduce marketing to these kids. Matter of fact, our lunch speaker today was one of our speakers this year at our camp, Dan Mason from CBS. In 21 years, I've only had one person ever say no, they didn't want to help us with our summer camp. I've only had one person I've asked to speak say no. He writes for the Chicago Sun-Times. I would call him out, but I told him I would stop doing that because people said, "What? You're not going to help kids?" But what it has done over 21 years is there are now general managers, there are sales managers, there are executives, there are people who are not in broadcasting who that use the skills that we taught. We have clients who came to us as a youth, went through our program, have stayed involved, and are now writing us checks to be on the air. And 21 years of passion. We keep saying we're going to stop doing it. We can't. This year we had 20 young people between the ages of 14 and 23 that participated. So we've grown our own. As a matter of fact, our sales manager in our Springfield, Illinois market started with me when he was 11. 11! He's now 29, and he is a rising star in our industry, and I hope we can keep him in our company. And you talk about golden handcuffs. The fact that he has been invested since he was 11. It's amazing. So that's part of it. The other part is, we are in Lafayette, Indiana, Danville, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, Decatur, Illinois, Bloomington, Illinois, and Springfield, Illinois. Every market is contiguous now. So there's strength in numbers and there's strength in geography, and we're really happy about that. How many students in the room? I'm going to give you some, students, and then folks that would like to get a new job in the next 5 years. Okay, lots of you. And some of your bosses are here. Keep your hands down.
Yeah, I was looking back there.
All right, but let me
hands again?
And for every manager in the room, is this not true? When you are talking with a prospective member of your team, you will know within 5 seconds or less if you're not going to hire somebody. Is that true? Or less? And I say less is probably more accurate. Within 5 seconds, you're going to make a determination if you're not going to hire someone. And then you're going to spend the balance of your time with that individual deciding whether or not it's worthy to continue the conversation about if you will hire them. It's two different questions. Now, I put this to the test, and I believe that to be 100% true. 2 months ago, I was on a panel to hire a college president. Now, what is a radio guy doing, hiring a college president? But I thought, will my 5-second rule work in academia? We're talking about college president. It works. We had 44 candidates. Of the 44 candidates, we got down to 10. Of the 10, we got to 3. Of the 3, we hired 1. Okay? Of the 44 to 10, just reviewing their material, you knew if there was a fit or not. With the 10 interviews, I made the determination of the 10 interviews in 5 seconds who was not going to make the cut. College president. Only 3 people made my 5-second cut. Guess what? They were the 3 finalists. And the one I initially felt the best about starts August 1st. $300,000 a year job. Now, I am hiring a program director, and I had an interview with a program director yesterday. And I knew in 2 seconds we had a problem. Do your homework. As a prospective employee, do your homework. Candidate. No, me, manager to candidate. Tell me what you know about us. Crickets. You're hiring. Oh boy, that's good. Okay, you want me to turn over a multi-million-dollar business to you as a program director. That's what you're asking because we're taking time to interview, right? Tell me about my radio station. Okay. Then I was ready to pack my bag to get to the airport. Do your homework. Candidate who won the college presidency. He knew the names of everyone on the committee. He knew what businesses they were in. He knew the statistics about the college, the town, the university, economic development, chamber, the whole deal. I got to be careful. I don't want to connect too many dots. But he had done his homework. That was in the initial interview. That was even after he passed my 5-second test. It matters a great deal. It matters a great deal. And that's a piece of useful information I want to share with you because it really does matter. And unfortunately, if you start doing that in your interviews, you will be one of the rare people that do.
So what is key in those 5 seconds? What is that thing that you see when that person walks in? What are you looking at? What are you looking for? Maybe even before you ask that first question.
It's interesting. Let's go back to the panel this morning. Let's go back to the panel this morning. I'm a passion guy. I love radio. My on-air light went on at age 8. And it took me till 14 for someone to actually let me get behind the microphone. And I've not worked a day in my life. I'm 51 years old. So that's 37 years in this industry. And I think maybe I got another 37 left. I want to be a feet first guy out the door. But I don't want to just be occupying a seat. But I look for passion. And you can tell. You can tell with the look in their eye. You can tell. I do a lot of programming at schools. I love to get up and talk to kids. Again, like our farm club, our farm team. And again, the handshake, it matters. The basics, you got to dress nice and look like you've got some sense about you. But it's the look in your eye. It's the passion. It's your immediate personality. And everyone's got different personalities. But by God, turn it on. Show you care. And you can instantly when you walk in. Again, you're joining our team. I'm damn proud of our team. I want the dead weight off, and I want the good ones on. Then I want the good ones who want to fight to stay on our team. And then as a manager, I want to elevate my game so that I can meet the demand of our team. I want them to keep pushing me to be a better manager. But to answer your question, you can tell right off the bat. But it's your energy, it's your passion. Smile, good firm handshake. It's simple.
And drink a can of Jolt before the interview starts.
This message is brought to you by Red Bull,
and Monster.
It's absolutely true. Of any age, it's not just millennials. It's any age. It's any age because it's some of the best people that I hang around with. They're in their 60s and 70s, and they still got it. They still want to be in the game. I love those people. That's my answer.
Yeah. So Jeff. Been at this a long time. You've seen lots of change over the years. What keeps you up at night when you think about the future and recruiting and finding that talent? And what does that look like to you? What do you do about it?
You never stop recruiting. You're constantly looking. And I want to add a little bit to what Mike's saying. I totally agree. Now, you're talking about when you're seeing somebody face-to-face, which we don't have that opportunity, and the programming side especially, because I'm hearing from people all over the country and some from outside the country. And what you're saying, though, is you have an opportunity. When you put that air check together, make sure it's compelling. Make sure it grabs my attention immediately. You're giving them 5 seconds, and that's about it with an air check. I mean, within 5 seconds, like, oh, wow, this is really good. Make it interesting, because if it's not interesting to me, it's not going to be to my listeners, and you aren't going to make the cut. So take the time, and you're right on about doing your homework about on about the station. They did their homework because they care. They really want it. They're not just throwing a wide net. They were very, very specific. So that's excellent advice, because there's a lot of competition and you need to cut through that. And so it's important. Put your best foot forward. Make it compelling.
How's that work in sales, Roger?
Well, I think that it comes down to the basic golden rule. If you treat people like you want to be treated, you have a whole lot less turnover and a whole lot fewer employee headaches. I look at one of the most compelling problems and challenges that keeps me up at night is the commodification of employment practices in broadcasting. I think that when I listen to a couple TV general managers brag about how inexpensively they can hire talent in a market in Wisconsin, I think that it's an immoral compensation system. I think that we've commodified labor. We are not treating people with the respect that they deserve, and that gives our industry, I think, a self-inflicted bad image. So we have to recognize that the most valuable asset a radio station has is people. And we have to be more responsible stewards of the people that give us the ability to be successful in radio. So I say it's the challenge is the commodification of our greatest asset, and that is our employees.
I want to tell you about Brittany. Brittany is one of our newer employees in our Decatur, Illinois market, and she is on our country station, 95Q. Where do they come from? Brittany was a P1. Love the radio station. Absolutely love the radio station. We had an opening. And so we decided, let's just see what is out there inside our own world. Hiring from within. How about hiring from within your listenership? So Brittany was one of 10 people who responded to an open call for an audition. She rocked it. But what she rocked it is her social media. She was so creative. She had such fun with her Facebook page, her Twitter followers, but she was a P1, showed up for events. It's like, wow, we got to get Brittany on board. And you know what? We did. We hired Brittany. 6 weeks ago, the Decatur Police Department was called to downtown Decatur, Illinois, population about 88,000 people. Why? Because there was a T-Rex on the loose in downtown Decatur. There was a Tyrannosaurus Rex dinosaur running around downtown Decatur. It was seen in the Central Park. This dinosaur was seen coming out of a UPS truck. It was Brittany. She went online and bought one of those inflatable costumes. I don't know what she was doing, but she put it on, she inflated it up, and then she ran around downtown to see who would take her picture, post it on social media, and got us a buzz going because there was a dinosaur on the loose in downtown Decatur. Our listeners love her. We love her. She'll do anything. Just a joy to be around. She passed the 5-second test.